Hi, my name's Lewis and I'm the head instructor at T2 Boot Camps, and welcome to the second episode of the Low Fat Naughty Food series. Now in last week's episode we looked at my healthy alternative to your cheeseburger and chips, and in today's episode we're going to be looking at another naughty food, which is the pizza. Now mostly everybody I know, including myself, enjoys a pizza, be it as a hangover food or after a night on the town or on a Friday or Saturday night just because we want a little binge. Now most of us know that pizza isn't really good for us. It's lots of calories, lots of saturated fat, and if we're trying to lose weight or stay in shape, it's a big no-no. Now one of the reasons it's a big no-no is because of the base. Now your regular pizza base is usually made out of white flour. Now white flour is one of the worst carbohydrates we could possibly eat. So that's why I tell most of my clients at the boot camps and our members to stay away from white flour. So avoid white bread, white pasta and cakes and things like that. So in my pizza base, bear with me on this one because you might be a little bit surprised, I'm going to be using cauliflower. Now you might not think that could turn into a pizza base, but trust me, it does, and it tastes great. So we're going to be using a cauliflower for the pizza base. We're also going to use 2 free-range eggs. Now we're going to use only 1 yolk but 2 egg whites. We're going to be using some low-fat grated mozzarella cheese. So this is less calories and less fat than regular mozzarella cheese. Now for tomato puree, I'm going to be using Dolomio low-fat bolognese sauce. Now this will taste just as good, does the same job, but it's got less fat and less calories. And for my pizza topping, we're going to need lots of protein. So I've got some lean chicken breast. I've also got some sliced mushrooms and some spinach, which is full of iron, vitamins and minerals. And if you don't like these toppings, then you can really choose what you want, but keep it in moderation. Don't go throwing a load of rubbish on there. So let's move on to making our pizza base. So step number 1 is grating your cauliflower. Now you can either use a food presser or a blender to grate your cauliflower, or you could do it by hand as I've done. And you're going to need 2 cups of cauliflower. So if you've got a cup for measurement, you could use that. But 1 cup is usually about 250 millilitres, so we're going to use 500 millilitres. So as you can see, that's about 1 cup, 250 millilitres. So 2 of them. And to grate it, just going to simply need a cheese grater. Take a little piece off at a time, and we just want the fluffy bits at the end. We don't really want to be using any of the stalks, and that just simply goes into the bowl until you've got 2 cups worth. 2 cups or 500 millilitres of grated cauliflower. So that's going to go into a bowl, and if there's any big pieces of cauliflower in there, just make sure to pick them out. Okay, and then next step is we're going to use 2 cups again of low-fat grated mozzarella cheese. So let's just measure it out. So 500 millilitres. And that's actually perfect. So 1 bag is around 500 millilitres. So all that goes into there. Next step, 2 free-range eggs. Now we're only going to be using 1 yolk, as the yolk has a lot of saturated fat and calories, and we're trying to make this a healthy alternative. So just 1 yolk, but 2 egg whites. And this might not be looking much like a pizza base at the minute, but trust me, it will do soon. So once all that's into there, all you're going to do is mix that all together until it forms a dough. So once you've mixed all your grated cheese, grated cauliflower and egg together, all you're going to do is put the mixture onto an oven tray and some tin foil. So let's just get it all on there. And it still doesn't look much like a pizza base, but it will do soon. So now that's all on there, all we're going to do is just spread it out so it's as thin as possible. So this should make about, not far off a 11-inch pizza. Now you don't need to add any salt to the mixture because there's a fair bit of salt in the mozzarella cheese itself. And you don't need to add any water as the cauliflower keeps it quite moist. So let's just keep spreading that out until it's nice and thin. And then that's going to go in the oven, set at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. And whilst that's cooking, you can start cooking your chicken and your toppings. So the next step, guys, is to put the pizza in the oven. Now, like I promised, it does look a lot more like a pizza base. So that's going to go in the oven, set at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. So let's pop that in there. And now whilst that's cooking, I'm going to move on to frying our chicken. Now I've got 2 chicken breasts sliced into thin pieces. And I'm going to fry them in, this is brand new at Tesco. So this is Fry Light 1 calorie pan spray. So it's only 1 calorie a spray, and it's just like frying in vegetable oil, but without all the calories. And this is smoky barbecue flavour. So this is going to give it that, barbecue grill taste. So, it's really going to improve the taste of the chicken. So a couple of shakes. Heat the pan up first. Now usually 6 or 7 sprays is enough. And I've got, as I say, 2 thinly sliced chicken breasts just to give it that added protein. So there we go. Smell the barbecue flavour straight away. Now let's just get the chicken on there. So make sure that the chicken's cooked through, and now you can start adding any seasoning, herbs, spices to your chicken, just to give it a kick and improve the taste. Okay guys, so the pizza's been in for about 15 minutes. Chicken's cooked nice and through. That barbecue spray really does make it smell nice. So let's have a look at this pizza. Now, I asked you to bear with me at the beginning, and this is why. Now, most people wouldn't have expected it to look like that when we first started. So there's the pizza base done. Now let's move on to the toppings. So for tomato puree, as I said before, I'm going to be using Dolomio Bolognese low-fat sauce. So this will do the same job as tomato puree, but just with less calories and less fat. So it's usually about half a jar should do it. So let's just spread that out onto there. Now half a jar has only got 70 calories. There's a few onions in here as well, which will just add a little bit more flavour. So spread that right out. Make sure it's on the edges, don't want any dry edges. There we go. Now, sliced mushrooms, so just a handful. Spread them out. Now, as I said before, you can really have any toppings you want, really, but don't go overboard. Some people put meatballs on, but meatballs full of fat, lots of calories, really defeats the object of having a healthy pizza. So that goes on there. Now let's get our chicken on there. So got 2 chicken breasts, small chicken breast, sliced into thin slices. Now you may have noticed I've not put any cheese on, and that's because you really don't need any, because there's so much been put into the base. We don't need to add any more because it's very, very cheesy. That's on there. Now, handful of spinach, and as I said before, spinach is really good for us. Lots of iron, vitamins and minerals. Handful on there. And I'm also going to put some mixed season all perfect shake herbs and spices on there. So this is paprika, garlic, salt and pepper. So this is just really going to add some taste to it. So here's my pizza. So on there we've got chicken breast, mushrooms, low-fat bolognese sauce and spinach and a little bit of herbs and spices. So that's going to go back in the oven for about 2 or 3 minutes. So keep an eye on it, just so make sure it doesn't burn. And then we're nearly done. Okay guys, so it's been in for an extra 2 or 3 minutes. So hopefully that should be done now. Wow. So there we go. There's my cauliflower based chicken, tomato and cheese pizza. So guys, there's my pizza. I'm quite surprised with the results myself. So for the base we used cauliflower, eggs and mozzarella cheese. For the toppings we've got a handful of spinach leaves, sliced mushrooms and sliced chicken breast. Now altogether that's about 750 calories, and in a pizza of that size there's usually about 1200 calories. So we've saved 450 calories and it's also 10 grams less saturated fat. So a really healthy alternative to your 12-inch pizza. Give it a try guys and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.